The long night has finally ended for us, people. We are almost there around the corner. It was just reported that production had started on House of the Dragon. We've seen images of the cast reading scripts, and now we have our first look at the cast in costume of House of the Dragon. What up to all my thugs, nerds, geeks, and freaks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon, and if you can, please subscribe, because if this video hits 500 likes, I will give away 1 month free to a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video. HBO Max. Make sure you're in it to win it. It is time to start the hype train, people. We are getting all that we want. That's the images of House of the Dragon. We can finally take a look and see what direction they are going with. Now, as I said, HBO's first Game of Thrones prequel show is in production, and now an official Twitter account for the House of the Dragon series is releasing photos of the cast at work. On Monday morning, the newly unveiled House of the Dragon Twitter page shared photos of Matt Smith, Olivia Cook, Emma Darcy, Stephen Toussaint, and what appeared to be a socially distanced table reading. And from that, we now have our first look of some of the cast, just 2 members, but maybe the 2 most important members of the cast in costume, actually going through the motions in the series. Now, as we know, House of the Dragon does not have a release date, but HBO has an idea when the show will air. HBO announced the series to order in October 2019. In late July 2020, the first rounds of casting began. But that still leaves a lot of steps. Filming, editing, visual effects, and now that we know that it's going to be a whole lot of dragons, not just the 3 Daenerys had, a whole lot. It's going to take significant time for all of the special effects, since it is focused on the Targaryens and all of the dragons that they have. So this is what HBO president of programming said. My guess is sometime in 2022, and now we have the first images of them on the set. Let's take a look at them. So we see Matt Smith sporting a blonde wig as he joins what seems to be an Emilia Clarke clone right here. Seems like they're definitely taking a lot from Emilia Clarke's Daenerys Targaryen for Emma Darcy, and it seems like they are walking on the beach somewhere in, I'm gonna assume that it's Dragonstone. That's the only beach locations that we truly seen in Game of Thrones. There was a deleted scene of King's Landing of Tywin fishing on the beach, but since that was deleted, and we know if you read the books that Rhaenyra is stationed on Dragonstone, it's a good chance that this is Dragonstone. Now, as reported, this does confirm that the southwest coast will be the key filming location in many of the House of the Dragon. Now, quickly, let's focus on Matt's look as Daemon Targaryen. We see him with a long black jacket, knee-high boots for the shoot, and it appears to be in deep conversation at this time with Emma as they stand on this beach. Now, his hair is partially pulled back with what I'm going to call a Targaryen mullet sitting down on the back of his neck. I don't know what to call it. I'm not a hairdresser. It looks like a Targaryen mullet. We're gonna go with that. Hashtag Targaryen mullet. Now, Emma is rocking a red gown. Now, some may call it Targaryen red, some might call it crimson. It seems to be split in the front with brighter accent, maybe, you know, a different type of red, just a brighter red right in the front of it. I'll have to get my friend Heidi from Costume Co on here and go over these costumes. I thought they would go a little different with them, but it seems like it's almost the exact same style we have already seen in Game of Thrones. She also has her hair styled in a braid, and we see Emilia Clarke rocking many of them. Now, it's a little weird to me. I thought that Emilia Clarke had the braids because she was with, you know, what would be considered the black people, the Dothraki, and they were braiding her hair. I thought it was more of a Dothraki thing than a Targaryen thing. I guess they're trying to say that this was a Targaryen style all along. Now, as I said a little bit earlier in this video, speculation has been confirmed that the prequel was filming in Cornwall. Production has been spotted on St. Michael's Mount, and this castle does bear a shocking resemblance to the Lannisters' castle, you know, Castle Rock. Will it be Castle Rock? I don't know. Will it be House Valyrian? Maybe, but we must remember we do have set photos from House Valyrian, and it is not this castle. Let's bring them up real quick. Now, last week, film crews were also spotted at St. Michael's Mount at Penhale Camp, and it had medieval style sets were being built, and they seen the light rigs and everything else going on there. But the clue that got everybody excited and the residents who are Game of Thrones fans are that they spotted this seahorse on the top of an archway on the National Trust managed mount. Now, this is obviously a set. This is obviously not what was there. They built that, but it's pretty obvious to see that it's kind of different architecture that they're going for from the white one. Maybe it's an entrance that leads to that castle, like a catacombs. It could be that, or maybe it's not. I'm just speculating here. I have no ideas. You let me know what you think in the comments. But this is clearly the symbol for House Valyrian, 100%, so we can move on from that. We also have a shot of some type of tent type situation, or should we just call it a hut? Maybe a hut's a better word. Now, this hut is slanted. The roof is slanted, as we can see, and it has sticks on every side. Kind of looks like a lean-to. What I would call it. If people were into ice fishing, you would know exactly what that is, which would be especially interesting for House Valyrian because they are basically fishermen, they are sailors, they are pirates, they do everything in the sea. So them having something like that set up, I mean, obviously there's no ice there and there's no hole to go fishing, it's on the beach, but they could have something like that, that type of style. In this last image, we see Matt and Emma walking on the beach. We can't tell what's on the floor. We have no idea what that is. But they are walking on the beach together. It could just be scraps from a set. It could be something that they're trying to build at that particular time. Who knows? Or they could just be trying to get to the image that we've seen them staring at. When we've seen Emma staring off into the distance like she's looking for a whole new world. Maybe thinking about Westeros or something like that. I wish we seen a better look at a sword. We see no sword on this man at all in these images, which is weird to me. I thought we would get a good shot of a sword, but we did not get a sword in this. And does Matt Smith actually look like you want him to look with the wig? Now, I know people are speculating that they couldn't see him as this role, but now that you see him in the clothes, now that you see them both in the wigs, let me know in the comment section, do they fit the Targaryen look for you? Is it starting to feel more real for you? Because I know a lot of people were complaining, especially about Matt Smith being casted in this role, and I told them, just wait till you see the costume, and then you might see it better. Is that the case now? If you're looking for the Don Tony Teflon's opinion, I am very excited about the photos. I think they look great. I think the costumes look great. I thought they'd go a different route, and it seems like it's the same exact style from the Game of Thrones show. You would think that if it's going to be set all those years before, they would have had a little different style, but it does seem like the exact same style. Listen, if it's not broke, don't. Maybe that's the attitude they're going with it. I know that they're going to want to attract Game of Thrones fans. They want it to look familiar to Game of Thrones fans because, you know, it's not exactly the same people in it. So maybe if they keep the same look, the same style, people will feel connected to this show and feel like it is a prequel of Game of Thrones if they have a lot of those elements. And obviously, I think they're going to use a lot of sets from Game of Thrones if they can to make people familiar with it. But I think the clothes, the hairstyle, that's what they're truly going for, why they look exactly the same and why they just didn't go off the edge and just start a whole entirely different look for the people. But just because we see them like this doesn't mean that everybody else in the cast is going to be the same. House Valyrian will be a brand new house. We've never seen them before, so I expect great things and I expect a whole different look for them. So we shall see how it goes. Listen, if you want great content and everything up to date with House of the Dragon, you make sure you subscribe because the Don Tony Teflon will have all the spoilers, I will have everything from A to Z covering this until this drops, and when it drops I'll have a lot more, and I also have a lot of great content creators down with me and my crew that will be on this channel too. So again, make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified for every House of the Dragon video I drop. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and also subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.